Welcome to the Overwhelm Edit, the podcast for professional women just like you who are ready to rewrite their story and reclaim feeling capable at work and present at home again. I'm Dr. Sarah Lou, a GP and life coach who specialises in women's burnout and overwhelm, and I'm here to guide you with the practical tools, inspiring stories, and strategies that mix the science and the soul to get you out of survival mode. And so, my lovely, are you ready to edit overwhelm out of your life once and for all? Let's do this. Hello, my lovely, and welcome. I am so glad that you are here. And before we talk about anything else, I just wanted to say this. I really want you to hear this. My love, you do not need to be fixed. You do not need to find more motivation or a productivity hack. And you don't need to come here having all the answers. I just want you to celebrate being here for this moment, arriving here, choosing to carve out this time for you, for yourself, in the middle of such a busy day, such a busy week. And so, my love, let's begin. This is the place for you. If life on paper looks good, in fact, everyone say you have all the parts that you're meant to have for a happy life, inverted commas, happy life. The career, you've reached the pinnacle of it, the family life, the holidays, maybe the house, whatever that looks like. Everything looks good on paper. Everything should be fine. And yet life is feeling really heavy, unsatisfying. You feel that you are going through the motions, that you are not having those sparks of joy or presence. Those pockets of joy are few and far between. And overwhelm is almost a constant companion, along with a few other things like self-doubt, exhaustion, snappy mum, shouty partner, whatever those things show up as in your life. And here's the thing, you are brilliant. You are capable. You have a job of high responsibility, high mental load. You've worked hard for it. You have given so much to get to where you are. And you are a purpose-led woman. You are in a role where you feel your purpose should be getting lived out. You went into it for a reason, for a purpose, to live out a calling, whatever that looks like. And the women I work with, it can look like a number of things. I work with doctors, I work with lawyers, I work with engineers, entrepreneurs, charity CEOs, you name it. And one thing is happening in all their lives. Overwhelm is a constant companion. Tiredness where no matter how much you sleep, it just doesn't seem to touch the side. And you find yourself asking, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? Why can't I enjoy these things that I have, that I'm meant to have been working for all my life? Why can't I enjoy those moments with the kids, with the partner, friends, family at the weekend? Why can't I sleep well? Why can't I just be? When did I last feel like me? I don't even know who she is anymore. What's wrong with me? And my love, if that question calls out to you, if that question rattles around in your mind, what's wrong with me? Why am I not coping? Why don't I feel better? Is this what it was all for? Then I want you to know that you are in the right place. You truly, truly are, because I get it. My love, I get it. I have been there. I have walked in your shoes. I have walked this path. And the women that I work with, this is how they come. This is the story that they all bring. Yes, everyone has their unique parts that make up their life. But this is becoming all too common. And here's the thing, just because it's common, just because so many women are feeling like this doesn't mean it has to stay this way. But before we dive into thinking about change and creating that and what that even means, what that can even look like, feel like, I want to talk to you about an idea that I think when you understand it, it's going to really start to change things for you in how you feel about how you are living, what your experiences of life day to day. Because I see all too often, and I have done it myself, that when life is hard and that when things get harder, as capable, brilliant, professional woman, driven woman, we are just really good, and I mean really good, at pushing on through. We get on with it. We hold everything together. We are the steady one. We're spinning all the plates and juggling all the balls and all those analogies. And my love, this is not just a busy season, although, wow, it really is a busy season. This has been going on for months, if not years. And how often have you told yourself that things would settle down soon, that things would get better with the next holiday, the next half term, the next deadline, and that actually, once all of that happened, that then you could feel like yourself again. And for a long time, that kept you moving forward. For a long time, that promised so much. It was such a compelling argument, in fact, from your own mind that if only you could do more, you could get the to-do list done, if only you could keep up the pace, that actually then you could rest. Then you could feel like you. Then you could be present and have moments of joy with the people that you love most in this world. That you could give them the best of you, not work as it has been up until now. And yet, my love, so often it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen. It was the proverbial carrot, and it became the stick instead. The weekends passed. Your overwhelm, your exhaustion, your stress, the snappiness followed you there. Even came on holiday with you. And maybe actually, if it didn't, it was certainly waiting for you as soon as you got home. And somewhere along the way, rest just stopped feeling restorative. Joy felt muted. And the things that you love started to feel like a massive effort. And if you've been keeping going this way, it's not because you want it to feel this way. No one would sign up to feeling this way. It's because you were never showing the other way to be. Because, my love, we were going to be the generation, weren't we? We were going to be the generation to have it all. Wow. It was really set up that way, wasn't it? We were going to have the career. We were going to have the family life. We were going to do it all amazingly well. We'd also be absolute domestic goddesses and have the house clean and tidy at all times. And everyone turned out impeccably and always running to time. We were set up for so much from such a young age. And you know what? We now are in this season of life being busy, life being complicated. There have been many, many moving parts. And one of the signals that this is all starting to be very heavy is that overwhelm as the constant companion. It's there almost as soon as you open your eyes, as maybe you scroll your phone in bed in the morning and the work emails are pouring in, or yet another WhatsApp from school. Maybe it never left you and you feel like you couldn't fall asleep after working late yet again. And right back at the start of this episode, one of the first things I said was, my love, you are not broken. Because I know that question of what is wrong with me? Why am I not coping? Why am I not managing this? I'm meant to be. Partly it's because we were set up to believe that we could shoulder it all, and yet we were never shown how to. And this story plays out in so many homes, in so many workplaces, in so many lives. I see capable, brilliant, wonderful women who are working inside demanding systems with high responsibility and load, no matter what sector you are in. That is almost a universal theme. And having chronic unmet needs. And the load gets higher from the external world. And here's the thing, when it does, our internal world, our internal thought process and strategies and ways of trying to cope, inverted commas, You can be doing it if you are watching on the video. And here's the thing. Somewhere along the way, we started to blame ourselves. We started to think we were the ones at fault, that everyone else was managing better than us, more than us, that everyone else could take it in their stride. And what was wrong with us? It felt like we were crumbling at the seams, disintegrating at yet another thing coming our way. And it always showed up in times where it felt like it came out of nowhere. Always felt like the small thing, the tiny thing was the moment to topple us and to trigger us into another cycle of overwhelm. And yet, my love, I want you to know that everything that you have been feeling makes so much sense. That you have every right to feel as you feel when there's so much being asked of you and so few resources within you now because you're so exhausted and drained from keeping up this relentless pace because you were never shown the other way. And I said to you, one of the things I wanted you to take away from this episode was to come away with some understanding, and that's where change was going to start, because this change we're talking about is built on awareness. This isn't another promise or life hack or silver bullet. This is talking about changing your life built on awareness of who you are and what you need, and really importantly, how to actually get it and have it and incorporate it into your life so that it feels the life becomes sustainable, joyful. You get to live out that purpose and it gets to flow from you, not to be drained from you, as it has been so often up until now. And this perfect storm, my love, when you see it for what it is, it's one of those moments where you think, okay, I can see this thing, I can understand it, because what we're trying to do with the perfect storm is to invite you to look from the outside in, to see the many things that started to slot into place to create the perfect jigsaw that when they all clicked in together, that this path of overwhelm, that this path to burnout and exhaustion and depletion and feeling that life is missing the joy and the presence that you so long for, it all became inevitable when all these pieces clicked in together. And that actually when they clicked in together, that when this inevitability started, that if this had been anyone, any woman, anyone with these things, these pieces clicking into the perfect storm jigsaw, that it was inevitable. Because, my love, we are all human. We are all human. We are all trying our best to do this thing called life. And actually, when we look at the perfect storm and when we reverse engineer it from the inevitability of exhaustion and overwhelm and burnout, the opposite happens. You get given back control. And the thing that becomes inevitable is your healing, your recovery, and your growth. And the perfect storm, my love, is so important to know about. Because when these jigsaw pieces click in together, they in themselves could maybe at times feel a little bit more manageable. But the way that they click in together, it starts to create this vicious cycle. And actually, the more exhausted and depleted that you get, the more the inner parts of our own mind can start to make things harder than they already are. Because I'm sure you've got experience of this, that the more tired you are, if you had several bad nights sleep in a row, you feel just a little bit less resilient. And that inner critic and that pressure from inside to do more and just keep up, this kicks in harder. And so when that happens again and again, month after month, year after year, when the external pressure is huge and increasing, always, because that's coming at us from all roads and directions, isn't it? The external pressures, and our own needs continue to be unmet, or not met in the way that they truly need to be fully resourced and fully restored, then that experience of our own inner world starts to kick in hard because it thinks, I know what to do because we've done it always. And that's when things are hard, we go harder. When things get tricky, we show up, we keep going. And here's the thing, at some point, it maybe even had worked in the past, okay? Your mind has learnt this way to be for a reason, and it maybe even helped get you to where you are. You know, so many times we've looked back in life, I know I certainly do, and think about times where that show up, keep going was really helpful, going through med school exam, postgrad exams, you know, doing night shifts, on call, because it needed to be done. That's what it felt like. Okay, this is how we get it done. This is how we move forward. But you know, life was more simple then. Might not have felt it at the time. But as we get older, as we really step into this narrative of being women in their midlife, you know, at the top of their careers, meaning and meant to have it all. Wow, it doesn't appreciate that life just got a whole lot more complicated. Whole lot more moving parts, many more people involved. And that simple carrot analogy of, well, just, you know, right, that is really hard for your finals. And then you can have 2-3 months off. Amazing. Guess what? That doesn't happen anymore, does it? And so those older ways of being, they kick in hard. They think, I know what to do. I know how to help you. You're exhausted. You're depleted. You've got loads of things to do. Let's just go harder. And so this perfect storm, which is the chronically unmet need, plus high external load and demand upon you from work, from home, from family, and even the nice stuff starts to feel heavy. And we then accompany that with that internal world where we judge ourselves, criticize ourselves, really flog ourselves on because we think that's what we're meant to do. And my love, when I say that is the bit that we never learn how to manage instead, that is the bit where freedom truly starts to come. Because it's not too late. You are not too far gone. You are not broken. You never were. You just needed to be shown another way to be. And so, my love, if this is starting to really resonate, if you're recognizing the signals that your mind and your body have been telling you, that feeling of pressure in your chest, maybe a sensation of dread as soon as you wake up, of feeling overwhelmed and snappy at things, and you show up as a version of you that you don't want to be. That version where you're snappy, where you're short, where you're impatient, where you say things that you simply just don't mean. When you feel less like you and you can't remember when you did last feel like you. I want you to know, my love, that these are signals, that these are signs that this perfect storm is at play. And that when you see the jigsaw pieces separately and then how they all click together, this is not failing to cope. When you see the perfect storm for what it is and you can meet yourself there, my love, that's when everything does start to shift. And so, my love, if you are used to being the one who has to cope, who shows up always, who starts to feel that success is linked with self-sacrifice, and it feels like no matter what you have tried, nothing has ever shifted enough for you to feel better and to continue to feel better and to start living a life that feels truly sustainable, that honors the many moving parts, that also feels good, that you feel like you, that version of you, that best version of you, the version of you you'd love to be. My love, if that is you, then you are in the right place. And I want you to understand the storm, because I want you to see that this is not about blame. This is not about blaming yourself. And then when we start to realize that we can set that blame aside, You have not done anything wrong. You have not failed. Things are not too far gone. That, my love, that there is space. Space opens up. And change can come in. Yes, it doesn't happen overnight. But it does happen. And it changes lives. And so, my love, I want you to know that this place, it doesn't require you to become someone else. It doesn't require you to do dramatic things. This is a place where we come and explore these topics, these ideas, without pressure, without rushing, without needing to figure it all out. My love, you're not behind. You're not broken. You don't have to do this all alone. I am really glad that you are here. And my love, this episode has all been about hearing about the perfect storm and finding relief in knowing what has been at play within your own life for a long time now. And that how you feel has been inevitable for a long time. But now we know, with this understanding, with this awareness, that change is possible. And so, my love, I'd love to hear how this episode landed for you. I'd love to hear from you. And I will chat to you very soon. Thank you so much for listening to the Overwhelm Edit. If you have enjoyed this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to follow the podcast, leave a review, or share it with a friend who you think might need it too. Your support helps this message reach more incredible women just like you. And don't forget to connect with me over on Instagram. I'm at Dr. Sarah Lou Wiley. Find me there for more tips, tools, and conversations about beating burnout and reclaiming your life. Until next time, take care of you